Hi guys, so I'm going to read the Occult Files of Dr. Spektor number 2. So this will be my Gold Key Comics playlist. And if there's 5 Dr. Spektor videos, I'll make a playlist for that. So the Occult Files of Dr. Spektor. From the Files. The Thing That Howled. And the Painter of Doom. It was after completing my research at the British Museum that my secretary, Dakota Rainflower, and I made our way across the moors, having devoted my life to the weird and the supernatural. I decided to answer the call I received while in London, and ventured to the estate of Howard Rogo. The Occult Files of Dr. Spektor. The Thing That Howled.
Ow! Can't we walk any faster, Adam? These moors and that howling give me the creeps.
Come now, Lakota. Where's that brave Sioux blood?
If there is a wild dog prowling these moors.
Do you believe Howard Rogo's story of a phantom dog?
No, I don't.
Howard Rogo believes it. He sounded thoroughly terrified on the phone. He fears the spirit wants to kill him.
Woo!
There it is, the Rogo estate. And listen to that howling now. It's coming from inside the building. And inside the house, that infernal howling! Will it never stop? It's louder than ever this time. Maybe Frack will finally come for me. Huh! The door. Yes? Who is it? I am Dr. Spektor, Mr. Rogo, and this is Miss Rainflower, my secretary. Howard Rogo might once have been a strong, vital being, but obsessive fears have changed him into a whimpering coward. I came as soon as I could, Mr. Rogo. And not a minute too soon, Doctor. You hear that howling? I fear the ghost dog will kill me tonight. I hear what could be a spirit dog. But it also could be a number of other things. I tell you, it is a ghost, and it's out to get me. Can't you understand the danger I'm in? And just why would a phantom want to kill you? That, Dr. Spektor, is of no concern to you. I called you here to find the phantom dog, to possibly exorcise it from this house and save my life. Then may I begin my investigation? By all means, search wherever you wish. Without another word to Howard Rogo, we ventured through a long corridor. Rogo is hiding something. If we knew what, it could be helpful.
Do we start looking?
Let's try upstairs. It may be in my imagination, but the howling seems to be coming from up there. Later, I learned what happened in the library, while Lakota and I climbed the stairs. There! The door's locked. Maybe the ghost dog won't get through it. But something had gotten into the room. You're safe now, aren't you, dear brother? What? What is wrong, Howard? Don't you recognize your dear departed brother? Douglas, why have you returned from the dead? Because now that Dr. Spektor is here, I may see justice done in this house, and I want you to remember your evil deeds. Let your mind travel back with me, dear brother,
to that day soon after I purchased this house, when I discovered that ancient treasure chest hidden in the cellar. Instead of putting that treasure to good use, I hid it away, and lived the miserable existence of a miser for many years. I had become a veritable hermit, and was naturally happy when you came to visit me in my lonely home. My dog Frack took a particular disliking for you from the start. He obviously sensed things I could not. Wherever I went, Frack was there. You were terrified of him, weren't you, Howard? And your terror soon became an obsession, so strong that even when Frack was not in your presence, your mind perceived him. I didn't know then what you were plotting. We'll be back shortly, Howard.
Alone at last. Now I'll have time to do what I must.
You wasted no time in getting out the proper tools and working on the old wooden banister. When I finally came home, you called me, told me to join you, told me it was important.
But please leave Frack downstairs.
Knowing how afraid you were of the dog, I left him, then ascended the stairs, never once suspecting that you had come here because of the jewels. Before I really knew what was happening, it was too late. I crashed through the weakened banister with terrific force. But even though I was dead, Frack was alive. You...
I didn't want to use this gun on Douglas. Wanted to make it look like an accident. But lucky I carried it.
With both of us dead, you had all the time in the world to search the house.
Where are those jewels?
But then you realized that I had hidden the treasure better than you ever expected.
It's got to be here someplace. But where?
And then you heard it.
It's Frack, my brother's dog.
The howling never left you, but finally there was hope to end your torment. The world-famous Dr. Adam Spektor was visiting London. You telephoned him for help. Now that I've refreshed your memory, and you know the reasons for your fate, I leave you, dear brother. Frack will come for you soon, Howard, just as soon as... But no, I will not tell you that. Ha 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 ha! No, don't leave. Tell me.
While upstairs, we still searched in vain for the phantom dog. Although I feel definite psychic vibrations in this house, there are no signs of any spirits.
Adam, I accidentally moved this piece of wood, and a secret panel opened. Gold pieces, jewels, a real treasure.
Yes, hidden away, and worth a fortune. I wonder if Rogo even knows about this, Lakota. It was certainly well hidden. We'll take it along. This way. The sounds seem to be getting louder. Perhaps we can track them to their source.
Adam, look up there, and listen.
The wind, howling through that open window. It sounds like a dog.
You see, I was right all along. There isn't any ghost dog. I'm afraid this case won't fit into your files, Adam.
Perhaps not, Lakota. But it surely seems strange to me that Howard never found this open window. Perhaps he was just too frightened, his imagination too wild, for him to bother. Then again...
The howling has stopped! Did you find the phantom dog and perform the exorcism?
There apparently is no ghost dog, Mr. Rogo. We only found wind howling through an open window. After I explained everything to him...
And we found this chest of jewels upstairs.
The jewels! You found them!
I found no phantom. Therefore my work here is finished, Mr. Rogo.
No! Don't leave! The phantom dog is real, and it's going to kill me! Here is your pay. Take some of these jewels. Only, please, don't leave me this night. I beg of you.
I'm certain that you will wake up in the morning and realize that the phantom dog never existed, except in your fears. We left Howard Rogo a shivering wreck. The ghost dog had proven to be the wind, and yet I was still haunted by an inexplicable feeling. And inside the house...
I'm alone! I'm with the jewels! At last! Gah! The jewels! Could that be what Douglas's ghost meant? Is that why the phantom dog never killed me? It had to wait until I possessed the jewels. The jewels that I had killed for? The howling! It's back! And what's that? Coming toward me! No! No! No!
Adam!
I know. That howling is not the same that we heard coming through that window. Come on!
No! Stay away from me! Please!
Rogo, stay where you are. Don't move.
He can't hear you, Adam.
Although we ran, there was no time to save Howard Rogo. We're too late, Lakota. With the little life that remained in him, Rogo told me enough to piece together the whole story. Then his conscience cleared. Dead. I pity him. Whether or not there actually was a phantom dog, Howard Rogo believed it was real. He saw it with his eyes, or in his guilty mind.
At any rate, that awful howling has finally stopped.
Yes, Lakota. I believe no one will ever hear it again. After reporting Rogo's death to the local authorities, I added the strange case of the thing that howled to my files of the occult. And that's the end of the first story. Harry Ivy was an artist, a true master at placing oils on canvas. But unfortunately, Harry could not create his own masterpieces. He could only copy the works of other artists. And, well, let us go back in time 10 years and watch the artist profit by his particular talent. The Occult Files of Dr. Spektor, the Painter of Doom.
I've got to finish this painting. My deadline is coming up.
He worked feverishly through the night until his arms nearly dropped from exhaustion.
Finished at last. My masterpiece. A perfect copy of Santos' Fisherman at sunset. Even Santos would be proud.
Wrapping up his work of art, he hurried out into the night.
To think I was a starving artist, until I learned that people would pay good money for my forgeries. Ah, there is my contact.
Ivy took the money, leaving the painting with the man who had bought so many of his forgeries, and who had, in turn, sold them to so many unsuspecting artificiados. Yes, Harry Ivy has always been an evil and cruel man, and now his latest enterprise robbed so many innocent people of vast sums of money. It was recently that Harry Ivy wandered into an auction.
"That case! I've got to have it!"
Fearful of being outbid on the case, Ivy moved quickly and stole it.
"This case bewitched me. It's ancient. I can't wait to see what's inside." "Huh? Nothing but 3 old paintbrushes. Wait a second. The handles of these brushes seem to be made of bone. I wonder why."
Harry Ivy thought no more about the strangely carved brushes. They were the furthest thing from his mind when he settled down to sleep that night. And he dreamed that night, dreamed strange and conflicting nightmares that battled for supremacy within his weary mind. How real those twisted images seemed, how terribly real, as he actually experienced the sensation of physically partaking in the dreams. In the morning,
I'm exhausted. I feel like I've been working all night and that weird dream. Wait, that painting! I wasn't working on any painting last night, except in that dream. Gah! I couldn't have painted that! But there's fresh paint on my hands.
No, the still wet painting wasn't even Ivy's style. For one thing, it wasn't a copy of someone else's work. At the time, Ivy had no idea just how realistic the painting was, for many miles away.
Great Scott! Someone must have thrown the wrong switch! Ah!
Soon, all the news media carried the story. And at precisely that time this morning, the 2 trains collided. Sabotage is suspected.
That wreck was just like the painting. Somehow, these brushes must be enchanted, and cause me to make that painting during my sleep. Perhaps these brushes let me predict the future. If so, I can profit by such a power. But first, I must be certain.
So anxious was Ivy to test his mad theory that he had trouble getting to sleep. But late that night, after finally managing to fall into slumber, while his eyes stared blankly at the canvas, his hands moved with the skill of a master, painting a crashing airplane. In the morning, Ivy learned of the terrible airplane disaster. Thus, Harry Ivy proved to himself that the brushes had imparted to him the ability to predict the future. Every morning that he awakened, he found a new painting beside his bed, and in every case he had painted some disaster, confirmed by the morning news broadcasts. And this made the artist extremely happy.
I have no doubts about it. I do paint the future in my sleep. Thanks to these brushes, I must find a way to profit by them.
Feeling a strange compulsion to learn the origin of his mysterious power of prediction, Ivy hurried to the public library as soon as it opened in the morning. He pored through volume upon volume pertaining to art and the occult, when finally, in a musty old book,
Here, a picture of those very same bushes. According to this book, the brushes were made from the bones and hair of a witch who was burned at the stake in England in 1608. The witch had been accused and convicted.
and for causing all manners of disasters, through your witcheries, you be condemned to die by fire.
Then kill me with your flames, but you not destroy my evil. My curses at my powers shall not die, but remain to plague your world.
Curse all you like, foul servant of Satan. All that concerns my ears will be your screams.
From the ashes that had been a living witch, her unknown servant salvaged some hair and a few charred bones, which he made into the enchanted witch brushes. That means I wasn't predicting those disasters. I was causing them to happen. I've robbed and cheated all my life, but I never killed anyone. And now I'm guilty of mass murder.
There was no bringing back the dead, but there might be a way to avert any more of those demonic disasters.
There! Burn, witch brushes, burn! You'll never make me paint another picture in my sleep.
Within moments, it was over. He stepped away from the crackling flames.
My curse is finished.
Fully confident that the curse of the witch brushes no longer infected him, Harry Ivy fell atop his bed and slept well that night. That is, until he began to dream again.
Wake up, artist! I believe you already know the identity of your nocturnal visitor.
But this isn't really happening. I'm having a nightmare.
Perhaps the nightmare is yet to come. You tried to destroy the brushes by fire, but fire could not destroy my hair or bones at the stake. For that treacherous act, you have doomed yourself. The brushes can never be destroyed. Here, take them and paint disaster.
Yeah!
There was no way for him to calculate how long he dreamed, or how many minutes or hours he had spent trying to awaken. Finally, he screamed. It was a taxing fight that he waged against his unconsciousness, but it was worth the effort, for Ivy was awake.
Oh, my head feels like it's going to explode. Oh.
But then he saw.
The accursed brushes! They've come back! Just like in my nightmare! And they're dripping with wet paint!
Slowly, his eyes moved toward his easel, dreading what he knew he would find there.
I'm afraid to look, but I must see what I painted.
After the rubbing his tired eyes, the painting came into sharp and horrible focus.
No, not that, not that!
The horror was before him, the image of a man hopelessly trapped by rising flames. A man who, though lacking a face, could only be.
It's a picture of me, but I managed to awaken before I painted my face. If I had finished the picture, I'd have caused my own destruction. What can I do? I can't destroy the painting, for fear that whatever happens to the picture will happen to me. I can't destroy the brushes. And worst of all, I can't fall asleep, for fear of finishing the painting and sealing my own doom.
There was only one solution, one seemingly impossible solution to Ivy's predicament.
I must never fall asleep. Never.
But even coffee cannot keep one awake forever. especially one who had gone for nearly a full week without a moment's repose. And it was only natural that the veil of sleep inevitably overcame him and forced his eyes shut. So he was having a cigarette, and the cigarette had spilled on the bottle, so that's what caused the fire that killed him. The authorities said that the fire had been another tragic case of falling asleep while smoking. Almost everything had been consumed in that inferno. Everything, that is, except a peculiar set of paintbrushes, which soon mysteriously disappeared. I pity the souvenir hunter who took them. And that's the end. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be appreciated. If you have any requests you want me to do, just let me know in the comments, and I can tell you when I can do the request, the date I can do it by. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.